Welcome to day 1 of 14 of Brainrot Maths until the Junior Cert Maths exam. Today we have a question on skibbity toilet and quadratic equations mostly. So, a group of cameramen is designing a skibbity toilet movie poster to promote the epic showdown between the tiny speakerman and giant skibbity toilet. The top half of the poster, so this part, is a square, and that's going to be very important. That features an intense scene of a skibbity toilet exploding out of a sewer with laser eyes. The bottom section is a rectangle of height 1.2 meters. And anything that's not given to you here, you could draw that in, like here. And remember that this is a square, so the length and width are equal, so this here is a square. So if this is x, then this here must also be x. Write the total height of the poster in terms of x. Hint, the square's height is also x. So it gave us that there, so we know that this is x. So we can write the height as x plus 1.2, and that will give you full marks. Part B, using the area of a rectangle, show that x by x plus 1.2, so the brackets just mean multiply everything there, equals 72. And rearrange it then into a standard quadratic form. So always do what the question asks you to do. There's two parts to this question. The area of a rectangle is length by width. So in this case, that's our height, so we can interpret that as the length. So let the height equal to the length. And well, we know what the width is. We know that the width is x meters. So length by width, that would be x by everything in x plus 1.2. It wouldn't be something like this where x plus 1.2, because that's addition, that is not multiplication. So now we need to rearrange this into a quadratic, and in order to do that, we need to expand these brackets. And we know that our area is 72, so we can just plug that in. So to expand, multiply everything by everything in that bracket, x by x, and x by 1.2. And that is our quadratic as follows. Solve the equation x squared plus 1.2x minus 72 equals 0, which is exactly what we got here. To find the width x of the poster, give your answer in meters, correct to the nearest centimeter. So be very, very important, because meters and centimeters are two different units. To solve this question, we need to go to page 20 of our log tables books and find the quadratic formula, which is this one. So this is how our quadratic is written. So we can plug in the a, b, and c values based on the coefficient of x. So our coefficient of x squared, it might not be visible, but it is 1, because it is only 1 x squared. And then for x, which would be b, it would be 1.2, because there's 1.2 of x. And then of the coefficient c, it's minus 72, so you have to include the sign as well. So now we can plug in these values. And now plugging that into our calculator, we get x equals 7.9 and x equals minus 9.1. So we have two values, and it can only be this one, because you can't have a negative width. That's impossible. You can't just break the rules like that. So our final answer is that the width is equal to 7.9. Wait. So remember, it asks us to give our answer correct to the nearest centimeter, right? So our two answers are x equals 7.906 when we plug that into our calculator, and x equals minus 9.1. We can only have this answer, because you cannot have a negative width. That's impossible. You can't just break the rules like that. And this is our answer in meters, and it asked us to give our answer correct to the nearest centimeter. So we can see that it's 0.6 there. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so we have to round it to 2 decimal places, which will be x equals 7.91 meters, and that is our final answer for the width. So if you were careful on the last part and got everything right, then you got a distinction. So well done.